We welcome you to Augusta Civics. A little trouble getting up here as we join you with the score 7-0. Moose off to a quick start. Garrett Alley had the first bucket. Tyler Wilbur hit a 3. And I believe it was Keith Chesley giving the Moose a quick 7-0 lead. 3 to answer for the Rams of Unity College. Ches pops outside, irons up. No, they'll fight for the rebound. Rogers has got a second chance opportunity. Brandon goes up, didn't get it. Ches back up, he got it home and got harmed. Good board bound in there by the Moose. So they went after the boards ferociously, as they can do, Brandon Rogers and Keith Chesley. Doing the dirty work underneath. Keith got it, put it up, got harmed. So good start here for the Moose as they go up 10-3. Moose matched up in man. Lots of times we see them come out in that 2-3 zone, but they're matched up man here. Comes back outside. Good take, but didn't get down. For DeCerno. Come the Moose. Rogers going to launch. 3, no. Chesley's got it now. We'll have our scoreboard up here shortly as we're working on resetting things here for us. Garrett Glass, no. And the Rams got the rebound. Scoville. Jacob Scoville. He's from Machias. Going on Wilbur. Scoville. Got it knocked away by Rogers. Got it back. Long distance dedication, downtown 3. Tosi for 3. So Sean Tosi. Is that a Bengal? Good player. Wilbur's going to launch a 3, and he's got net 2. Back to back. Long range dedications for 3s for both those players, 13-6. High scoring tilt getting going here. Glad you're with us. Nate's working hard getting the scoreboard up. Rob Munsing, Andy Munsing bringing you this one. And Ham, and I think that's Scoville underneath, and it is.
Brandon Rogers, his
first on Rogers, team first. 16:03, 13-8. Rams at the free throw line for 1. Scoville's got it, got the conventional 3-point play. Unity College Rams, Tristan Stabbard, a UMA alum, coaching against his mentor Jim Ford. Ches for 3, 16-9. Both teams getting after it here. Got a push off.
Foul on Garrett Alley, his first, team second.
On Alley, first, team second. Comes down to Rogers all alone. That's good play by Scoville. Rogers underneath, can't get it. Got second chance. Swoops and home.
Brandon Rogers for 2.
Nice athletic play by Rogers to be able to keep his balance underneath the hoop, being swarmed by the Unity defense, being able to get it off the glass, take the hit, and now try to look for the 3-point play.
Yeah, Rogers is a magician underneath there. He can really make some room for himself. Got good leaping ability, good from the floor, straight up leaping, but a lot of guys can leap and jump and all that stuff, and you see him go through the roof, but they need a running start with it. Rogers really elevates from a standstill. Very effective that way. Chaz James in the game, number 44 here. Scoville outside. Tossing all the way across it goes. Another 3. Boy, we're setting a lot of 3s in this one. DeCerno. Ches holds out front, 19-12. Caleb McGuire is going to launch a three.
It's hit fourth so far.
So Caleb McGuire, that's his shot down around the baseline. Caleb's really good down there, as you see, and he launched himself a three ball and got it home, netted it all up. Scoville, he's got a downtown three. No, won't go. They'll fight for the rebound. Chaz James tried to keep it for the Rams, so couldn't do it. Tyler Wilbur now. Wilbur to Keith. Keith goes, jump stops, back outside. Three-point shooter right there. Irons it out. Rebound off to the Rams. Scoville. Ring home another three for Tosi for three. So we've had about 8 threes in this game. 22-15, entertaining contest going. Got timeout. We'll come back after this.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
And we're back. Sorry, we didn't get right up on time for the game. We started and we got a freeze up, as sometimes happens in the world of technology. So we had to do what you have to do, which is shut down, get back up. So we did that. Outside for Keith. Board banging going on. Rogers, nice look underneath, but stepping in the way with the Rams. And drip down for Sean Tosi. Wilbur right back the other way, nets one up.
It's his third of the half.
Either side really digging in on the D. It's been an offensive showcase here at 25-17.
Wow. Jeez.
Joey Whitten, three.
They called him Whitten. Was that the name I heard? Which I don't have one. (25-20). Moose. Scoville goes, got cut off, bumped. Al Cludius says that's a block. Ben Dinocore back in the game, the 6'4" freshman out of Georgetown, Mass. Off the iron, no go. Rams 1 and out. Rogers, hesitation, swoops, underneath.
Nice pass.
Didn't get down. Got knocked away. That was Richard Brown now in the game, 21. Ironed up. Couldn't rebound. Now it's loose. Who's got it? It's going to come out. Let's see which way it goes. White basketball. Taylor Wilbur will run it down. The freshman out of Manchester, Maine. Marana Cook High School. This is one of the things we looked at is getting nice give and go. Taylor Mannix going to get it down. Good give and go. Taylor in the game along with Brown now. Knocked away by Mannix. Mannix, good defensive player, always plays a good, tough, hard-nosed floor game. Get some instructions from Coach Jim Ford. What he wants him to do offensively. Rogers. Brown went through, didn't get it. Mannix now, underneath. Chesley's got it. Dishes to Rogers. Rogers underneath gets fouled. Little good two-man game as good entry pass came in to Ches. He got it off quickly.
Joey Whitman, his first, team third. Brandon Rogers on the line for two.
Rogers on the line for two. Not sure if they said Whitman, maybe. 34. I don't have a 34 on my roster for the Rams. I'm sorry. Rogers going to get a second here. Brandon's up. Irons it. Scoville now. Jacob Scoville. Left side. Ironed up. Rebounds pulled down by Keith Chesley. Mannix kept it alive and got it from Chesley. That's going to be a foul. In the backcourt on Chaz James, a 6'3" junior. Plantation, Florida is his home. Got away from Brown. Scoville waits for his teammates to show up to balance the court off, and now he'll go back to work. It's a pick from James. Token pick. More than anything. Came in to James. That was tapped away. Now here comes Brown with it. Head of the pack, it goes to Wilbur. Wilbur to swoop Rogers and home. Good fast break opportunity there for the Moose.
There's that body control I was talking about.
Yep, they got it inside to swoop, and he's tough inside. 28-20, Moose. Wilbur, they don't come out on here, they'll launch. Mannix launches, irons it up. No, it's loose. Let's see. James with it. Scoville now in the backcourt. He'll bring it up over the timeline, and Moose will go into that 2-3 zone that we mostly see them play. They did match up man coming out of the gate. Would come with it now. Scoville. Travel before he got the ball on the floor. Sean Toshi back in the game. He's launched a couple of downtowns. Glad he could join us here as Munzing Media brings you Moose basketball. Moose call made by our good friends at Maine Athletic Fundraising and UMA, sponsors for tonight's game. Check-ins here. Robert Mannix, number 55 in the ball game now, along with Keith Priest. Come to Rogers. Rogers head and shoulder fake. Got it tipped away. Came to Chesley. Keith back outside. Priest. To Rogers off the elbow. No, ironed up. It's loose. Ches has got it. Goes, jump stops, glasses, spins out. Rebound. Rogers. Fits it in. Rogers with a good start here for the Moose. 30-20, 10-point lead opened up here by the Moose. Little inside-outside game. Scoville's got it now. One of the few times inside. And Robert Mannix will wipe the board. Rogers got up awkwardly, but he got it to Wilbur. That's as good as in. For Taylor Wilbur, that's a layup. That's a layup. You give him an uncontested three from there, it's like shooting a layup for that kid. And he's really done a great job off the ball tonight. They've made a little change here. We'll talk about that when we come back. But we'll take a break. We'll come back. More basketball after this.
I was working full-time and raising 2 kids when I enrolled at UMA. With online classes and a site near my house, I could live in York County and never have to drive to Augusta, and all at a price I could afford. Because of UMA, I am now a certified public accountant and the chief financial officer of the Sanford Springville YMCA. I love UMA. If you don't think it can be done, I'm here to tell you it can. I love my job and I love that school. I stayed close and I went far, very far.
I was stagnating in my job. I wanted to study computer science. I looked at other programs both online and in the state. UMA was very affordable, fit my budget, fit my schedule. It's really geared towards a working person. The support was just amazing. I once emailed a professor on a Saturday night and she called me back on a Sunday morning. That's UMA. I found what I really wanted for a career. I never would have done it without UMA. I am a very happy geek.
Back here at the Augusta Civic Center, Rob Munzing, Andy Munzing, Nate Munzing. One of the things that we talked about here a little bit is moving Taylor Wilbur off the ball so he doesn't have quite so many ball responsibilities and bringing it up. And they've done that a little bit tonight. And what that does, it opens him up to shoot the ball, to receive the pass and shoot. He's deadly. He's got 4 threes.
Well, he's got such a quick release, too. He's able to get the ball really quick, set his feet, and just let it fly. That's usually when athletes that get the ball, and that's their shot with that quick release. that once they get on, they're on, and he's showing it right now with 4 threes here with 11 minutes in to the first half.
Robert Mannix called on the foul underneath. It'll be on the floor. 13-point lead, you see, for the Moose. Came in, Mannix got a piece of it. Got a piece of that, too. Robert's been very active underneath. And there's a rejection by Mannix. And the dunk.
Nice stick right there.
Well, credit Robert Mannix with his work on the defensive end. And they got it. Crashed one home. Outside three won't go. Ches try to get it down. Here comes clear the track. The Mannix machine came storming in. He's like having a lead blocker for yourself. He just cleared that whole thing out, picked that off, put it home.
Well, he showed his nice nimble feet there underneath the hoop, too,
Yeah.
after to intercept that pass and then be able to get his feet under him and make a really good athletic play.
Yeah, he does. He has good feet for a big man, Andy, that's for sure. And he's been a force underneath so far and caused that one to go away. So good bench minutes here so far for Coach Jim Ford. He's going to send Aaron Williams in the game, number 33, take over the point guard, or some of the outside responsibilities. Wilbur get a little rest. Rogers outside. I'm sorry, that's Priest. Now Rogers. They double Rogers. Keith will go all the way over to Williams, inside to Mannix. Robert goes up, baby hook, no. Board for the Rams, Scoville now. Scoville pulls it out against that 2-3 Moose zone. Off the elbow. Rams have cooled down a little bit from the outside. Here comes Priest. Faked it, came back and hit the pop. Keith Priest, nice move. Keith, the freshman out of Augusta. 39-20.
Yeah, a little 11-0 run right now for the UMA Moose.
Yeah, this stretched this out to 19. Part of it is the Rams have gone cold. And the inside game hasn't been there. That was a good swoop that time.
Joey Whitman for 2.
Whitman, I think, is what they're saying here. Joey Whitman. We didn't have it, now we do.
Nice board right there. Nice
Big
power
man
move.
goes up,
There you
Robert
go.
Mannix.
Foul on Jacob Scoville. Robert Mannix shooting.
Good floor presence by Mannix right there to know that he was a little far underneath, but with 3 defenders around, if you go up strong, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get hacked and go to the line for 2.
Robert Mannix getting set. Couldn't drip it home. Garrett's under there, board banging. Some serious board banging, and it came out to Caleb. And McGuire on the 3rd chance opportunity. That's good board banging by the Moose. Scoville outside. 20-point lead now. Whitman goes up and gets fouled on the floor, says Doug Bird.
Whitman's had a good game underneath the hoop so far.
Foul Robert Mannix. His second, team 5th.
Second, team 5th.
On the line for 2 is Joey Whitman.
Even though the Rams find themselves down by 20 here late in the first half, doesn't mean you have to get away from your offensive game plan. Keep getting the ball down in the paint. Don't get frustrated because they've had some good looks. They just haven't gone down.
Rolls off. Kept alive. Whitman get it back outside. He got it now. Thought about the 3. That 3 will be taken outside. Lafreniere. Now it's tipped away and good effort, but out of bounds. Not able to keep it in bounds was Toshi. 42-23. Good first half here. High scoring first half for the Moosemen. This is Priest. Inside the alley, couldn't get it from McGuire. Scoville now. For the Rams, hesitation dribble goes and deflected up and over. And it will be Ram basketball underneath the basket. Well, they call it a foul, I'm sorry. Missed the foul call.
His first team
It's on Priest, his first. That's going to be the 6th on the team.
first one no good.
Wilbur will come back in here for the Moose, along with Chesley. Robert Mannix, very active in there. Good contribution off the bench for Robert, and Priest also did a good job and had a basket while he was in there for the Moosemen.
Yeah, and you can't ask anything more of a player to come in, give you 6 hard minutes, get a couple of rebounds, get a couple of free throws.
Well, this is one of the downfalls we've seen here for the Moose a little bit. They, when they've had a shorter bench, it really wipes them out here. And getting contributions off the bench makes a huge difference for the way that Coach Jim Ford can then utilize it. But a good bullet pass underneath.
Well, and also, too, what it does is you know that you're a bench player and you know that you only have a certain amount of minutes out on the floor. And if you can make the most of them, it just helps your game tremendously on the offensive side of the floor and the defensive side of the floor.
Chesley on baseline couldn't get a Scoville now, 42-24. Scoville gets double teamed out front in that 2-3 zone. Cutter came over, got collapsed on. Now they get it back outside. They get a free shot. Forced inside. That time they couldn't get it in the hands of Joey Whitman, and Moose will have it. Diagonal pass, that was trouble. Numbers here for the Moose. Whitman, and puts it home. So turnover, transition. Comes inside the alley. Garrett goes, and he's going to get fouled. Let's see what they got. On the floor, maybe? We'll see.
Foul on Henry Prince.
Yeah, it's on the floor, so it's going to be
Team 6.
16, no shots. Keith tried to dip it inside. Garrett Alley didn't go. Now we'll shoot for the rest of the half. Both ways. That's a 17 foul now on the Moose, so
Foul on Keith Chelsea.
that's on Keith.
First
First on Keith.
on the line.
Nobody in multiple foul trouble. Nobody's got more than 2, I don't believe, either side here with the foul situation being what it is.
Even though it's the first half, 4:43 left here in the first half, like I said, this is a very crucial time for the Rams to get back into this game.
Well, and this is how you want to do it.
2 of 2 good.
Hit 2 for 2, 42-28. Welber's in trouble because he slipped. Caleb McGuire came. I don't know if he hit a wet spot down there. It's hard to see, but he skidded. Keith's been a little off on his shot tonight. Rogers was hot early. Has been waylaid. McGuire, nice job. Caleb from the backside loops it in. McGuire's open in three-point land. Now they'll get it back out to Rogers. He's in three-point land. It won't go. It's boxed around. Scoville's got it. Jacob Scoville hesitates, goes, paints, dips, no. Rogers, they waited on the call. Obviously, they had to see if James was going to interfere with Rogers coming back down the floor. They waited a little bit, Andy, but then they called it.
Well, yeah, you gotta wait to see that play develop. It impeded Rogers' progress, so then you make the play call. You don't want to take in reffing, you don't take away a chance from the offensive end if it doesn't warrant a call.
Yeah, because it could have taken numbers away from the Moose. Good job. Rogers swoops and home.
Rogers for 2.
Brandon Rogers, 44-28, 3:53 left. You see it. Scoville out front. Not a lot of movement by the Rams. They're rather pedestrian, waiting for a three-point opportunity. Scoville, it was a nice give, but Scoville couldn't get it home.
He's had 3 or 4 of those those are really good looks, and they're just not going down.
Comes Scoville again. And let's see, it's going to count it.
Nice take right there.
Fouled by Taylor Wilbur.
It's on Wilbur.
Shooting for one.
And 3-point play for Scoville.
And it's good.
That magic number 10, if you can get it down to 10 or under going into the half, it just, I don't know what it is about that number. You just got a little more, more confidence.
Yeah, psychological, isn't it, huh? Nice ball movement. Garrett's in a position he didn't want to be in, so he gets it over to Wilbur. Now, quick entry to McGuire. McGuire with a little put up and home. That was a nice feed in by Wilbur to McGuire.
Caleb McGuire for 2.
Caleb's had a good first half here for the Moosemen.
Yeah, that was really good ball movement. They were able to move the ball around the perimeter, switch sides, and then get the ball down to that low block and get a high percentage shot, put it home.
Scoville, pretty drive. He's had some good ones. Just hasn't quite had the finish on all of them. He's really quick. Wilbur's going to come down, eyeing it up. That's going to go out of bounds. It's going to stay. I'm sorry, I thought it was going to stay white, but they say it went off Caleb McGuire. So with 2:50 left, a 46-31 lead. Thank you for watching us here as Doug Burton had to chase it towards the refreshment stand. It's one of the things, the ball gets loose here, it goes a ways.
Could end up in Unity.
Yeah, out the door. To fight some snowbanks to get through there. Scoville. Wilbur's on him. Scoville got a 3. Got it all net. 46-34.
He had that all lined up, and then he went off with the pick, and it was still there, so he just nailed it.
McGuire's been good tonight. He's going to launch one all net. This is the best we've seen Caleb. The games that we've done, this is the best half he's had. For sure, Caleb McGuire. Starring for the Moosemen here. Scoville got a lane and took it left-handed. Comes McGuire down on the fly. Garrett got it somehow and went up and got fouled. Came to Garrett off Rogers by accident. Offense by accident. So some check-ins came flying in, but before they were called, they got to wait for the may I. Let's say may I. So Priest is going to come in. Brown comes in. Got somebody else at the scorer's table. I think it's Mannix at the scorer's table. Be Taylor Mannix want to come in. That was a pretty dipsy do. Well, Scoville, after he said he had been slashing and not finishing, has finished the last couple in a pretty fashion. He's been really good. At 49-38, there's a potential turnover. Let's see, no, to stay with the Moose.
Well, and right there, that's just great basketball. He hasn't made them, but obviously that is one of his bread and butter moves because that was his 5th or 6th that he's taken. And I thought all 5 or 6 were going in. So, that's what good basketball players do. Shooters shoot, scorers got to score, and they know that, and so do your teammates. And you got to be able to get into a rhythm if you want to get, if you want to get any baskets, you got to shoot the ball.
Rogers went up a couple of times. Couldn't get it to go down.
Big possession right here for Unity to get it under 10 for the first time in a long time.
And they shut Scoville off that time, but he makes a nice behind-the-back pass. The 3 didn't get down. Toshi, who's had a couple of 3s, wasn't able to get it down. Taylor Mannix now going to hold. Out to Rogers, has got a 3. Irons up. Toshi's going to come. No. That
looked like a catch from the Super Bowl the other night.
Yeah, that was something. Yeah, Taylor Mannix went in. He's going to take the charge, which he did. He might have embellished. I'm not sure what they called, but it came over to the Rams.
No, it wouldn't have been a foul because we'd have been shooting 1-1.
Right.
1 minute left in the half.
Got to see which way it's going to go. It's going to be Ram basketball. Cerno gets it in. Scoville been really good lately, and boy, he hits a 3 there. Jacob Scoville has heated it up here the second half of the first half, down to 8 points.
3 points by Jason Scoville.
It was a 20-point lead, Andy, at one point.
Yep.
Priest is going to launch a 3. Irons it up, no. Rebound. Off to the Rams.
Well, the Unity Rams did exactly what I had said. Don't stop playing the game that you're playing. And look, now they're only down by 8 with a chance to make it 6 or 5 if this one rolls.
It doesn't. James will give him a second chance opportunity. 3 outsides, all
Wow.
net by Toshi.
Tosi for 3.
Tosi with multiple threes. Down to 20 seconds. Almost thrown away. Rogers has just got a loop of pass he hopes gets to somebody. It does to Priest. Priest tries to throw it off the Rams and does. 12.9 left. Shot clock off. 49-44. 5-point lead for the Moose. Rams have closed this down from what was a 20-point lead. Mannix goes in hard, and let's see, he's going to draw the contact to go the free throw line. 10.2 left.
Chaz James.
There was a good play by Mannix to get the defender up in the air, and then once they're in the air, there's really nowhere for them to go, so just finish your shot. 9 out of 10, you're going to get the free throws.
Mannix on the line for 2.
Mannix. A little hard on that one. Robert Mannix in the game for this final stretch. So 49-44. Down the wire it goes, and that'll do it. So good first half, both ways. Good close by the Rams of Unity as they cut into the 20-point lead. We've got one going here at the Augusta Civic Center, 49-44. We'll have some messages, and we'll come up with the clock, let you know when you need to come back for second half action.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most.
For the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
I didn't really think about going to college after high school. I didn't really know what I was going to do. I worked for a marine construction company, long hours away from home. I just wasn't working with raising my son. Basketball team. When I graduated, I got a job right away as a medical lab technician.
Gone to shot, and that place happened to be UMA. The credits from my 3 other schools transferred in really easily, and I didn't have to start all over again. Being able to do my degree at night and on the weekends and when I had the spare time, that was really important to me. And UMA gave me the ability to have my life and my degree. UMA is responsible for where I am today. I just finished law school, passed the bar exam, and now I'm going to be a lawyer.
Action about to get underway. It'll be Moose basketball. If you're just joining us, Moose moving right to left in the home white uniforms, Unity College, in their dark uniforms. They tried to get into McGuire. Lead for the Moose has shrunk to 5 points. Does a great job, and the man with the ball right now, Scoville, had a big part in that in the second half of the second half. Rogers started on fire, as did all the Moose, and they've kind of let it get away a little bit there. As they're really firing on all cylinders. Good contributions. Caleb McGuire, he'll get the second half start as he should. A really good first half. Taylor Wilbur with multiple threes. Comes into Rogers. Rogers head and shoulder fake, spin move, goes up, drops it, but they're going to call a travel.
These first couple minutes here in the second half, usually say this every single game, you know, that you do as an announcer. Those minutes coming off the beginning of the half are always very important, but especially with the way that the Unity Rams have been up and down so far in the first half, that if they get behind too much, they're not going to have enough time left here in the second half to be able to come back. So they need to keep the same offensive prowess that they had in the first half, just continue to play their game and make sure they get more offensive rebounds. That's the second three that they've had, and it's been 1 and out. So they've got to be sure to get those offensive rebounds.
Yeah, 3 offensive trips so far here for the Rams, and they've come up empty. Wilbur hit a 3 here for the Moose. 52-44, 8-point lead.
You know, opposite for the UMA, I'm sure they had some adjustments that they made at halftime that they do not want Unity to be able to get comfortable, start sticking those outside threes, and make sure that they man up on defense, because if you man up on defense once that shot goes up, you got to find an offensive play to be able to box them out so they don't get those second chances.
Knocked away. It's loose. Rogers has got it. Tried to go through the mass of humanity and decided to shooter. Mr. Wilbur for 3. 6 points here. Wilbur second half, both courtesy of the 3-ball. And if Unity hasn't noticed, you better get on Mr. Wilbur, because he will scorch you. So we get timeout. We'll take the timeout. We're back after this.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
I was working full-time and raising 2 kids when I enrolled at UMA. With online classes, I love UMA. If you don't think it school, I stayed close and I went far, very far.
Now out to 55-44. Scoville. Alley shut him off, and the ball went out of bounds, and it's going to be good defense by the Moose. Skeet Chesley jumped in there late. McGuire, that's usually a good spot for Caleb, but he didn't get that one down. It'll turn over to the Rams. Well, you made the point, Andy. Rams would have liked to keep this thing in around the 5-point area here, but Wilbur's shooting here in the second half has got them going, and they have not executed offensively yet here. That's a good take that time. That's a tough finish. But Tosi came down, and boy, he's been good from the outside. Comes Rogers. He's way under. Got it to Garrett. Garrett's going to go and put it up because he knows he's going to draw the foul, and he does. So Garrett Alley, free throw line. Got some foul trouble here for Denicourt. He's got 4. Ten-point lead here for the Moose. 17-13. Just a couple of minutes into this second half. Ironed up. 1 of 2. Scoville now. Jacob Scoville sees the lane, goes. He got a cut off by Garrett, and Garrett with a hip check.
Foul, Garrett Allen, his second, team first.
Garrett second, team first, as you heard. Like the way they're announcing the players and the scores and things like that. I think they're going to call a travel that time as Garrett stepped in, and he held his breath because he didn't want to get called again, but he had the position, caused a travel. So it'll turn over. Rogers, step back. Ends up being a pass to Alley. Now Rogers swoops in. McGuire. 3 chances. Third one was a charm, almost a steal by Keith, and Keith knocked it off of Scoville, so it's going to be UMA basketball. So the little things, the multiple chances on the offensive end, the good defense caused some turnovers. And only 2 points so far, and a 3 by Chesley.
I need to be thinking about a timeout here. 15 points.
Back up to 15, so what was a 5-point manageable deficit has turned back to 10 again. And you talked about that, Andy, that first couple of minutes, and it's been all Moose. They've dominated the second half. Here comes Keith up, around, and through. As the defense has been good for the Moose here in the second half. Floater didn't get down that time. That was Neal with it. And count it! Keith Chesley has come to life. Back-to-back trips down. Acrobatic moves by Keith Chesley, and he'll get a chance to finish the 3-point play here from the line as the Moose have gone back out 65-46. A chance to be back to 20, Andy, where we were here in the first half for the Moose. Chipped away mostly by Scoville's great play in the second half of the second half. Got it down within 5 at halftime, but it's been the Moose the second half as they have got this thing back up to 20.
Well, what they've been able to do here within the first 4 minutes of the second half is work their transition game, getting the ball up and down the floor, which they really didn't have a chance. Not that they didn't have a chance; they were just playing different offense back in the first half. But by shutting them out on the defensive end, limiting them to 1 shot, and then you have the guys breaking down the floor, you're able to get the ball into transition and score some easy buckets.
We have pop from the outside, irons up. Rogers rebound. Robert Mannix back in the game, wreaking havoc again underneath. Here goes Keith and fouled. Keith's been on the aggressive take here the whole half. Couple of good defensive plays. Several nice 3-point plays, finishes, acrobatics, and all. Keith was a little quiet for Keith in the first half, but Keith has come alive here as the competitive juices, I'm sure, have flown for him in the second half. He probably was not very happy with his first half performance and knows he's capable of a lot better, and he certainly has been here in the second half as Ches has got it going. 2 of 2 for Keith Chesley. 68-46. Scoville goes in, runs into Mannix. Third on Robert. Robert's as big as some of those snowdrifts outside the Civic Center. He's had a terrific game here tonight, has Robert Mannix. Good bench play for Jim Ford's Moosemen tonight. Mannix has been good. Taylor Mannix good. Priest came in, hit a jump shot right off the bench.
Yeah,
Richard Brown has got some good minutes in there as well, and Aaron Williams playing the whole bench tonight.
Anytime a bench player can come and get a couple of buckets and grab 5 or 6 rebounds, I mean, that's exactly what you ask them to do, and then they get out there and they perform.
Well, Mannix didn't finish his, but it went to McGuire, and the good move was by Mount Mannix inside. Rogers with the rebound. Rogers over to Ches. Brings it out. Mannix kept it alive to McGuire, back to Ches. He's got a little pop there at home. Pretty play. Dipsy do by Scoville didn't go. He's got it back alive again. That's good inside play there that time by Joey Whitman. (14-15). You see the score. 72-50. Taylor Mannix in the game now. So it's Mannix, McGuire, Rogers, Chesley, and Wilbur. Wilbur started this onslaught in the second half with 3 threes. Then Chesley took over. McGuire's been good all night.
Wow, that's number 4, 3 or 4 for him.
Yeah, Caleb's got the shoot playing with a lot of confidence tonight. Caleb McGuire, multi-talented player. Whitman's going to go. It's going to be something called underneath. Yeah, play control, they call it. Offensive foul. 75-51. That's loose. McGuire kept it alive. Boy, Caleb's having a game. Ches went up, got hit multiple times. Multiple assaults on that one. There could be mayhem going on there, and I just love the tones of the PA guy down here. He's like one of those, 1970s FM radio guys, with those melodic tones he has, always measured under control. Good to hear it. I really like it that they're announcing things. Helps us out because sometimes we miss stuff. Mannix has got it. Swoops inside. McGuire back up. No. Ches wreaking havoc inside. He gets tripped, and it goes out of bounds off Keith, and Jim Ford goes, well, he got assaulted. Jim Ford says they should have served a warrant. Popped outside, and Coach Ford, you could hear it from here. Toshi got it, and Coach Ford wants to take a timeout. So reset the clock, 75-54. Timeout on the board, we'll take one. We're back.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to
Back here after timeout. Mannix holds outside Ches. They come right at Wilbur, as they should. McGuire's got his lined up. No. Rebound again. Second chance opportunity. McGuire. What a leaner in. Caleb McGuire. Big night for the Moose. That was the quintessential shooter's touch right there.
Going up to the stratosphere.
Toshi got those great shooters, got great touch. That's back of the iron. Won't go. Second chance opportunity now. Comes to cut to Wilbur. Dishes inside to Priest. He's going to go up with a tough one. Wouldn't go. He's got his rebound at home. Boy, that was a nice follow that time. Staying with it. Scoville comes in. McGuire went straight up nicely. Sneak away. Priest, he's got it. Back-to-back baskets for Keith Priest. Well, that was a good read by Priest because he saw McGuire was going to get it. Nobody was back for the Rams, and Priest got down the floor before anybody could attack him.
Wow.
Sean Tosi with a big boy 3. I mean, that was a line drive to center field. Went in. McGuire's back in. McGuire's going to get a seat. Rogers is Keith Chesley. Good bench minutes again for Jim Ford. They run it Wilbur because he's been hot. Rogers will go. Priest head and shoulder fake. Makes some room for himself. Dishes it inside to Rogers. Nice assist, Keith Priest. Boy, oh boy, Keith has come off the bench to give this offense some great life. And a penetration feed and dish off to Rogers. Rogers with the block. Head of the pack was Priest. They couldn't get it to him, but Ches has got it. Comes Keith under control. He's going to pop from there and hit. Boy, shooting percentage second half for the Moose out of this world, 85-60. Remember, it was 20, and then it was 5 at the half. Unity's gone cold here in the second half. Whitman hit that three-point basket.
Whitman's played a really good game today, inside, outside. Definitely one of those power forwards that can play in the paint and out around the perimeter as well. He showed that tonight.
So we got check in here for the Rams of Unity College. Rams been a little wind-starved this year, but they played a lot of teams tough. Played tough here. Running out a little gas here. Wilbur's got it. Does a little Globetrotters, and there's Priest again. So Keith, 6 here in the second half off the bench. And Priest reads the play very well. He's not afraid to break up the court, get those easy transition points. There he is again. Numbers ahead. Wilbur. Mannix went up, got the ball knocked away. It'll stay Moose basketball. Jim Ford says, I think my guy got, held. Jim, I love Jim because there's, he's just quite a sight to see in the sidelines. He just wears his emotions right out there, thrown away. Head of the pack, Wilbur on the D, but he can't do anything about it. Getting the easy put in that time was Toshi. Tosi's been hitting all the outside ones. That time he got an easy give. Wilbur. Mannix now. Irons up, won't go. Rebound, second chance opportunities. Rogers drops it in, and we'll go to the free throw line. So just too many second chance opportunities here in the second half, given up by the Rams to the Moose, and the Moose have cashed in on a lot of those. High shooting percentage so far second half here for the Moose. They've been all over it. Now checking into the game here for your Moose is Richard Brown out of Waterville. Garrett Alley, Madomic Valley High School.
Coach Ford's done a good job using his bench tonight, and it's really shown big time for those of you that know basketball or coach or have played that if you get fresh legs, you have fresh legs in the second half, you're going to play better defense and you're going to box out. They've stayed fresh, they've played good defense and not let second chance points go in.
Good tough take by Brown. Following some of the lots of high school games going on around the state tonight. I had to look twice at this score, guys. It says boys basketball. South Portland Red Riots beat the Portland Bulldogs 20-16 in overtime. I think there might have been some delay tactics in that game. Wow. Big upset. Portland was undefeated here for a long part of the season. They've lost a couple. Good dipsy doing, tipping. That was pretty. Rogers might have traveled. Good extra step. Roger, a little smile on his face, says, oh, well, thought maybe you might not notice that I could cover all that ground. 91-67. Halfway through this thing, Scoville now, he's doing what he did before, and now we're going to get a full timeout by Coach Jim Ford. So we'll take the timeout. We'll be back to Augusta Civic Center after this message.
I worked for a marine construction company, long hours away from home. I just wasn't working with raising my son. Professors, a terrific price, and a learning center close to my home. I even played on UMA's basketball team. When I graduated, I got a job right away as a medical lab technician. UMA really helped me achieve my goals in life and in my career. I love UMA. I'm really proud, and so is my son.
I had gone to 3 other colleges. I got talked into giving one more place a shot, and that place happened to be the spare time. That was really important to me. And UMA gave me the my degree. Today, I just finished law school, passed the bar exam.
The second half, 9:12 left. You see the clock. Here comes some pressure by Unity as they're looking to get back at it. Little contact there. My gosh, came flying down.
Looked
Did
like a
Richard
snowplow.
Brown? It did, yeah.
Foul on Alex Neal, his third, team 8. Garrett Alley on the line for 2.
So Garrett will go the free throw line. Moose have done a great job rebounding here tonight. Both ends of the floor, multiple second chance opportunities has put them in a pretty good shape.
2 of 2 good.
Hit them both. 93-70, 23-point lead. Rams will need some magic here. They'll try the outside. They won't get it. Rebounds loose. Second chance opportunity that time gets up and down for Lafreniere. Had the cutter going through, and ball comes back out somehow. Garrett thought about it, but he says, out of my range. Rogers swoops. That was good defense that time. Took the baseline away. Did a good job against Rogers. Rams need to get some shots up and going. Skipped inside, and now it's loose. Rogers has got it. Didn't see what happened. It was behind the play. Alex Neal, I think, he wanted a foul call as he went in there and let Doug Burden know that Doug might need some help officiating.
And Doug told him he didn't.
Doug said, I got this covered, and by the way, I think that's 5 on him now, isn't it? Because didn't he just pick up the 4th? Wilbur's got 2, and that'll be Moose basketball. So it's behind the play, so you got to consider it was something that had something to do with wanting a call that he didn't get. He got a call, but not the one he was looking for. He got a technical call on him. Ferocious defense here, but Brown to get over to Chesley. Chesley eyeing it up. No, Rogers, new shot clock, but Rogers will Gumby up for 2, 97-72.
He's slippery under there.
Yeah, he's really good. We call some of those moves Gumby-like moves there. Either that or like Stretch Armstrong. Remember Stretch Armstrong from back in the day. Down along the baseline.
Wow.
A deep 3 that time.
Deep and contested.
Diacerno for 3, and he was contested, is right. Caleb's had a good game. Irons it up. Second chance opportunity. Caleb came in from nowhere, slashed through, got the rebound, and nobody got a body on him, and going to go to the free throw line.
Joey with the foul, his 4th, team 9. Number 22, Caleb McGuire, shooting for 2.
Caleb will get another. 98-75 as the Moose approach 100. Well, the way this started, you thought they could get it. They had 48 at the half. 48 at the half was 48. Or was it 45-40 at the half? It's a 5-point lead for the Moose at the half.
Garrett Allen foul, 49-3.
Yeah, it was 49-44 at the half was the score. Half. I'm just looking down at my notes. 5. So they were on their way to 100 at the half. They've kind of continued that pace. The Rams have run out a little steam here. It's a little shorter on the bench. As Andy's pointed out a few times, that depth and real good bench play here for Jim Ford's crew tonight. Really, everybody in uniforms contributed tonight. And that's what you like to see. Rogers. I think they call palming the basketball there, right? They call it carry. You almost never see that at the college level. You just, high school level, yeah, but Scoville goes hard, throws it up, it hits the side of the basket. So to go over to the Moose.
Good job by UMA Bigs tonight, getting in there, getting their feet set, and then just standing up straight and tall, and that's not a foul. If your feet are set and you're standing up straight, especially if you're 6'5",
on the way to the basket. It's one way to stop him. Whitman on the foul. Rogers will get a pair at the free throw line. Remember, tomorrow night, 5:30 start. Machias is coming down. Going to come through the snow tunnel. Got a lot of snow down on the coast. Of course, we got a lot of snow here, too. Teams that we have traveling by dog sled, this keeps up. That'll be a doubleheader as well, with the women at 5:30, men at 7:30 tomorrow. Be right back here to the Augusta Civic Center for that one. So in that South Portland game I was telling you folks about, they went to overtime, tied at 13. That must have been exciting. I'm all for shot clock. How do you feel about that, Andy?
I agree with you because we just 2-0 final score.
Yeah,
no joke.
Yeah, we're looking that up on the. That came across Nate's Twitter here. We're looking at between games and just couldn't understand how it could be 2-0. And the 2 points were scored in the first minute of the game.
15 seconds.
First 15 seconds of the game, and the 2-0. Yeah. Boy, I'd hate to have to be right in I'd hate to call that game. Keith goes magician-like. He gets it off to Wilbur. Rogers goes up and over. No. Kept alive. Wilbur, little put up and home. 101-79. Yeah, I'm all for shot clock. I don't know what it should be. I'll let the folks that know more about it figure it out. But I'd like some type of shot clock. So you have to play basketball. I'm one of those ones. I don't fault any coach that takes that approach because it's a rule. And as a former coach, if I could get an advantage, my job to go out there was to give my team the best chance to win. That was pretty, but not finished by Rogers. Brandon couldn't get it home. Kick saving a beauty by Wilburn. He's going to run down and get that. He'll be back. Hopefully in time for tomorrow night's game, as nobody's there to run that down. Wilburn knew that, took right off.
I think the tough part with instituting a shot clock within high school is it's supposed to be 2 and they have to be visible while on the floor. In some of the gyms that some of these schools play in, there's no place to be able to have the clock visible that it would I just don't really see how it could get done.
Yeah, it would be an added expense for schools for sure.
And then you say maybe you could institute in the tournament, but that's not fair because you haven't been playing that, that way all along. And
right, I don't think you just do it for the tournament, no. But, I think back into the, when I first, started coaching in high school in the 70s, into the into the early 80s, there was no three-point shot, Andy, in high school basketball, and then that was instituted, I'm guessing, I think it was probably around the mid-80s, I think, is when the three-point shot came into high school basketball.
Well, and one thing you look at, too, when teams go ahead and do that, there is a 5-second rule. So it's not playing basketball, but in a way it actually is. I mean, because that Alabama game that we were talking about, the team held the ball, the team that didn't score the bucket held the ball for 2 straight quarters.
Right.
So that actually, that's not easy to do.
Well, sometimes the other team, it takes, as they say, 2 to tango sometimes. You've got to go and, if you don't attack that person exactly with the 5-second rule, they can stand out there all day.
Right. Why wouldn't you foul him, get him at the line, get in the 1-and-1, and, who knows?
Rogers inside. He gets doubled back outside. In and out. Rebound. Rogers made a nice play to get away from it. Richard Brown tussling for it. And it'll go over and it'll be Ram basketball. These Rams play hard, Andy. They play hard. They just have a kind of a short bench, for Coach Tristan Starbird. And, he's trying to build this program back up. He was here at UMA for a good number of years, was Tristan, so. He'll get this thing rolling.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that happens overnight. No way.
We don't have the stats up here, but I got to think maybe eight or so threes for Wilbur for this half. So Scoville goes hard. He's a good player. He plays hard. Uh-oh. That was one of those ones, as soon as it leaves your hand, you go, do-over, need a do-over. No do-overs. It was backcourt violation.
Wilbur left his feet and he was in no man's land. Well, something the Unity Rams can hang their hat on is, they have 81 points.
Yeah,
it's nothing to shot, that's a good basketball game.
And Scoville just had a nice basket.
He's played well tonight, offensively and defensively.
Priest goes up, gets
Nice
rejected,
block.
gets it back outside. Wilbur, Cutter, McGuire, no, rebounds. Coming off. That was Chaz James with the rebound. 10 fouls on the Rams, so we got bonus, and only 5 on the Moose. Nobody in Moose Land in any foul trouble, so that won't factor in at all.
Wow. He's got to be close to 20 tonight.
Yeah. So we're going to see if it's a full timeout. So we got a full timeout, so we'll take the timeout. We'll come back. We'll finish this one up after these messages.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff.
One of our biggest goals is to develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and how important it is to fundraise.
We are back here. Shaping up as a sweep for the Moose. The Moose women, one going away. And the men, after a scare at the half. Boy, nice finish there for Brandon Rogers on the post pattern for a touchdown. Looked like the Gronk going down the seam. I don't know if this is just kind of, I know most of us are Patriots fans, and I'm sure being in New England, that's the case. I don't know if there's any person on earth who's having more fun in his life right now than Gronkowski. He just takes life and lives it to the fullest. He's all over the TVs, been on Jimmy Kimmel and everything, all over the place, working on a couple hours sleep. They caught him sleeping in an airport. It was the only shut-eye he was able to get. Parade tomorrow. Hope that'll be a safe parade. I don't know where they're going to put the folks. Outside it goes. Comes Priest. Got it tipped away. Boy, that was a great hustle play by Richard Brown. Brownie with a great play. Got to get Brownie a shot on this one. Garrett thought about the 3. Sneaking on a backdoor attack that time was Diacerno. Outside, Scoville. In the trees and puts it
take.
up. He plays, you know what I mean? Just plays good, solid, hard-nosed type basketball player. He's a Machias kid. I mean, that's how they play down there, and that's how they've been taught for years down there. Good colleague of ours, Jason Cassidy, is a Machias kid. Now coaching at Gardner High School. Good, tough, hard-nosed player. One of the terrific young coaches in Maine high school basketball is Jason Cassidy. It's a great job with the Gardner Tigers. Those kids always prepped well, game plan well, execute well. Took his team to the state final back in 2010, I think it was. So Richard Brown 1 and 2. Remember, back here tomorrow night, 5:30 tip-off for the women against Machias. As the conference schedule will be winding down very quickly here for UMA, and they'll get set for postseason play in the Elite Eight. Try to get you some more information tomorrow night on that. Comes inside, the quick put up now. Caleb McGuire, really solid game. Aaron Williams now in the ball game here for the Moose. Comes into Mannix. Head and shoulder fake by Mannix. McGuire's got it, puts it back up and home. Scoville with the 3 outside, no, won't go. Garrett's got it,
Costed.
Yeah, well, he did, and when he came through it trying to throw the ball, I think Garrett hit one of the, and geez, if you're going to grab onto Garrett, he might launch it towards the basket. Big Garrett. Everything's okay with him. I'm not even sure. I didn't get the number who's out. Tyler Lafreniere is going to go get some medical attention. He might have got hit in the nose. He might be. Yeah, he's bleeding from the nose. So we would have had to come out anyway. Hope he's okay. Scoville. Dipsy do and finish 2. Mannix. Garrett launches. Mannix rebound, puts it up. No. Mount Mannix. No. Just love the way Roberts played tonight. He's a man of a mountain under there. Guys that go up with him, he just kind of shrugs them off.
Well, that's what big, strong guys can do. When they get that position, you can't maneuver around him to be able to get in front of him, to be able to get the rebound, and then he rips down 2 offensive boards and now finds himself at the free throw line looking for 2.
Well, Roberts had a couple of times that he's kept the ball alive, and Caleb McGuire has come in with the second chance opportunity to get some points off it. 1 of 2 for Robert. Runner out. Mannix rebound. McGuire gets attacked. Gets it off to Taylor Mannix. Comes all the way over. Williams with the pop. No, that won't go. Might have got deflected.
Nice move.
I didn't know that Scoville's been out. You know, I'm not sure he's been out the whole game. He's just been really playing hard. He's got a good motor, and he just.
Holy cow. That's from the parking lot.
Wow. That was really something.
He's got to have 25 points.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, at least. Knocked out of bounds. Dinocore with a good hustle play. So we've got 24 seconds left now. You know, we'll do a quick wrap-up. Let you know, join us tomorrow night. Machai is in the house at 5. Well, hope everybody's okay after that collision. Got their legs tied up. Aaron Williams going to be called on the foul. Dinocore seems to be okay. Won't shoot. So we'll come down the floor one more time. Scoville will launch and a hit it, of course. Makes it 112-96, closer than the game really was. Counter if it goes, it doesn't. So that will be the final, 112-96. Good game here for the Moose tonight. A doubleheader sweep. We'll be back here tomorrow night. See you here at the Augusta Civic Center. Good night, everybody.